Howdy, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday. How's it going, Adam? Oh,
How you doing, brother? I'm doing good.
good. Yeah. How was your
Oh, am I
weekend?
glitching?
You're okay right now, maybe.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Sorry, man.
That's okay. At least
How's
you came
everyone doing
back.
tonight?
Get the comments rolling. Wait for the people to roll in.
How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, it's good, man.
How you doing,
Scott's in the
Scott?
house. Yeah. You have a good weekend?
Yeah, I did. How's it going, Aaron? I did. I went out chasing some trout in the mountains, and I did some golden trout fishing. Did really well. So I had a lot of fun
Nice.
this weekend.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't wait to see some of the pics.
yeah. So I've been up to Goldens now 4 times. The first 3 times, it was kind of like get a fish and like go home. But
Yeah.
even still, it would take me a little bit, and I would get one. And I only got 2 fish out of those 3 trips. This trip, I got 13 in one trip. So that was super sick. Thanks,
Nice.
Scott. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I
How
got 13. So that was like super cool, dude. And it was all nymphing.
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Hey, Mom.
How's it going? That's mom.
That's Mom from the Yukon.
Oh, mama, how you doing? How is it up there?
Yeah, they're still pumping out. Still water's high at the lake right now. Mom and Dad are up there waiting until the water comes down, but
Yeah, hey. I noticed out west things are definitely dying off. Fall is definitely showing its face out there. I mean, it was got down to 1 degree on Thursday night. It was pretty cold. So I mean,
yeah.
definitely things are switching over, which is exciting for us fishermen, anyways, and you guys who hunt as well, for sure.
Yeah. Like I had a buddy kind of the Clearwater headwaters area and he said it was -5. His water was freezing and stuff.
Yeah, ouch.
But
Yeah, I heard there was a big frost up north, like kind of like northwest a little bit, but we didn't quite get that down here. It only got down to 1, like I say, but that's still pretty chilly. There's no flowers hanging around. There's no berries hanging around anymore.
no.
Everything's kind of dying off. So
Yeah, I know Tuesday when we came back from BC, uh
absolutely colder temps.
Nordegg frosted that night.
Yeah, hey.
So it's
Well, it's
coming.
nice to see that water cool down, right? Like that water cooling down gets those fish super active, super hungry, and
For sure.
it's nice to get on them. Too much work, not enough fishing. That needs to switch for you, Brody. You need to turn
Yeah.
that around.
Yeah, I think that's been everybody's year though. Everything's kind of picked up this year. The
Which
COVID's
is good to
over.
see.
Oh, 100%. Everybody's just going hard this year, and I don't think everyone's getting out as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best still, but yeah, like work's definitely picked up, which is nice. But where I have been able to get out, it's been successful. I've found I've been a lot closer to home this year than previous years because you just kind of make do with the time that you have, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Southern Alberta for me, that gives me a lot of great options. I'm lucky that way.
Oh, for sure.
BC Bulls and Golden Intercept, nice. Those would be some hogs, man. That would be super cool.
Yeah, the
Nice
big
brookie
dog.
that you got there in your profile picture too, Brody. I seen you went way out east there, and you got on some really nice fish. That's cool, man.
Yeah, coming into brookie season too right now, the prime time kind of
Big
in a
time.
month,
I
a
noticed
month or
that
two
the
here.
Tigers, the brookies, they're all picking
Yeah,
up big time, ready to go for stillwater fish, anyways.
yeah. I don't even, no, I haven't caught a tagger this year.
No?
It's crazy. No.
See, I've been fishing them. I was fishing them there when it was pretty warm, and we had that hoot owl closure there. And I was
Yeah,
fishing the Tigers pretty hard, and you know, if you, it was really dependent on your lake. The bites were really flash bites. But if you could just find like a cool inflow, a cool pocket of any sort where the wind was blowing bait in, you could just
yeah.
hammer them, dude.
Nice.
Streamers,
And
balanced leeches, it was awesome.
You got that big brown the other day too, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, man. So Dino's told me I wasn't gonna catch shit on this nymph, and I mean, pheasant tail is kind of like my go-to nymph, and I
Yeah.
tie some with like little flash tail. Or sorry, I don't tie. I have a really good friend of mine who ties for me, and he ties some flash tail in them. And I mean,
Yeah.
you get a little bit of artificial light. And I think I hooked, I don't know, do you know what, 10 fish? I only landed 2, but I was hooking them nonstop. It was just hard in the dark to see your indicator drop.
Just
But I
probably
got a
that.
few really nice fish, really nice brown, 24 or something like that. I can't remember exactly,
Nice.
but yeah, that was a
How
beauty.
how was the moon that night? Did you have a lot of light or
Yeah, it was. It was super
nice?
bright.
So
Yeah.
that little bit of flash in
And we
that
were
tail
fishing
probably.
close to a bridge too. So there's like artificial light from the
Yeah.
bridge. It worked out well.
Nice.
Yeah. That same nymph, Dino. Same nymph, 13 golden trout. Actually, I got 2 on a chronomid, but
You're gonna have to have a signature series.
anyone wants flies, get a hold of my buddy Terry.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds like,
so I'm super excited to see Scott, you, and Mac put the herd on some gigantic Lakers in October. I mean, ever since I've known you, I look forward to those pictures the last 2 seasons. So this third one's no different. The Bulls were
yeah.
big this weekend. Didn't target them, but unfortunately, tough keeping them off the
Yeah.
grayling and Rockies when they grab on them.
Yeah, they're super aggressive right now.
Yeah.
They chase everything.
Yeah, I definitely seen a few stacked. Like when we were cutty fishing, you'd see them stacked together. It's always cool to see, right? But preferably they don't attack your fish. They are known to do that.
Yeah. Have
They're
you
little
seen
river sharks.
are they just still staging in your area or are they starting to spawn?
There's definitely some fish spawning, and then there's fish that are definitely staged, ready to rock.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we definitely seen a couple fish that were stacked, ready to go. I mean, I think they mostly do it in the dark, but they're stacked side by side, real
Yeah.
shallow in a spawning area. So they're doing it right now, I think.
Yeah.
The water temp, the cool offs over the past like weekend too, I think is really going to accelerate that process and get that going. Um, so hopefully it doesn't run too late. I mean, normally this is kind of like the average time. The last couple of years, it's been
Yeah.
a little early, but hopefully they get through it and goes well for them, and then we can get back to targeting some as the colors come off them after their spawn and they're kind of recouping and get back into the main stems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Aaron's been buffing up on your video collection.
Well, so I love shooting video, but I don't honestly like really care to put it out. So I really appreciate you watching all that stuff, Aaron. I shot a golden trout video this weekend. I probably will put it out eventually, but I got about 6 other videos, including 2 sturgeon ones, on the computer, still ready to go. So
Nice.
I'm gonna probably fish hard over the next few weeks, and then winter comes, and I love me and Mitch were actually just talking about this. The first couple months of winter, November, end of October, November, December, really exciting. Kind of started January, I really enjoy too. But like January to February, there's a big lull, and I'm gonna be editing some videos then, so I'll have a lot of stuff coming out because I'm shooting still. I'm just not editing as much as I should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, work's busy, man.
Yeah, it is. It's
I got
crazy.
sat down by the learning bush that night. I should get Terry to tie up some of those pheasant tails because I mean there's pheasant tails and then there's a few different little things you do and they get real sick. Yeah, I bet it'll be sick, man. I hope the weather is pretty good for you guys this year up there because I know you
Yeah.
said it can get pretty ugly for you guys. So
Yeah, it's always phenomenal fish they catch up there. So
man, it's absolutely insane the fish that they put in the boat up there. And I
yeah.
mean, targeting them on those rock shelves. I mean, I love throwing my spin rod, but don't get me wrong, I would love to throw my fly rod at some of those fish up on those shelves. That would
That'd be
be
nuts.
epic, dude.
Be nuts.
Tie into a 43 on a fly rod. Holy moly, good luck.
You'd be chasing it with a boat.
Balls were stacked in the pools. Water was low. Grayling were still through the water bodies. Yeah, the Rockies should be stacked up spawning too. I know we got a couple. The one was just a super giant female. I was like, oh man, that fish has got to be like 18 inches, and it was only really like 15 or 16, but she was just so chunky, full of eggs, ready to rock. Right, so that's always cool to see. And with this low water, right, you get a lot of the fish are they're kind of contained to certain areas, certain pools. So it's almost cool walking up on some of those pools and you see the whole ecosystem intermingling, right? You'll see suckers, whitefish. Up there, you got the grayling too, cutties, rainbows, bulls. Like you see the entire ecosystem in one hole. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So with all this cold weather coming, we'll be running into ice season soon.
Absolutely. And I got them ready here.
I got some, but I need to order a couple new rods.
Reels got to be switched over still, but that's about it.
Yeah. So we'll just go testing the canoe sled.
Yeah, there you go.
That should get everybody around.
Get me a ladder on the back. I'll spot for weak spots. I'll stand up and spot for weak spots. It'll be awesome.
You just got to cast from the top of the ladder when we get close to the open water.
It's quite popular early season and back home on the Great Lakes there. They'll use hovercrafts and stuff to get out on the better sheets of ice. Those guys are crazy. Like, that's hardcore.
Yeah. just can't wait.
Yeah. Need one of those Jiffy machines that have the auger right on the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a souped up one that goes fast.
So, with your golden trout,
yeah,
what kind of tactics were you using for this kind of? Well, their season's pretty short. I think it's just August and September.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, well, it opens May, June, July 15th, I believe, and then I have to look, but I think it's either end of September or mid October, one of the two. But yeah, it's a quite short season for them. And I mean, anyone who knows Southern Alberta knows that the wind is a force to be reckoned with some days, especially once you're on a mountaintop. And typically when I've been up there, like I say, you're up and down kind of. Normally I was competition fishing. I just wanted to get one and kind of get out of there. But this time it was more for fun. And we woke up in the morning and it was blowing. So I was kind of thinking, dry flies, I think, are going to be out the window because once we get up there, it's going to be 60, 70K if it's 40, 50 down here. So we got up there anyways, and I brought out the nymphs right away and went straight to a chronomid mixed with a pheasant tail, chronomid up top, pheasant tail just below it. And that wind on the lake, I think, masked any slap of the indicator or anything like that. And you could just fish along the ledges. If you've been to South Fork Lake, you know that you can wade 30 feet offshore in almost any spot, and then there'll be a ledge there. And a lot of those fish were cruising that ledge, and with the wind-blown shorelines, it's tough to cast with a fly rod. I typically only fly fish up there. But it was just a matter of upping my rod size. So I just brought my I brought my 6-weight up there. Nymphs, tungsten nymphs, indicator, gives you a lot of motion to be able to just let the wind blow it to you and flip that cast back out. Roll casting nonstop all day and picking off fish because you don't have to cast far there. But the nymphs were definitely key.
Yeah. Did you notice much bug? Well, with the wind, you're not going to see much bugs, but is it just all tiny stuff in that lake? Or are you flipping rocks just kind of match the colors and whatnot for the bugs?
Right. Like, so a lot of the bugs that you're seeing, like, so I've had a lot of luck up there in the past with like BWOs, blue wing olives, and then some PMD style things. But for the most part, I really like to fish small terrestrials like ants.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be eating a lot of ants on the shoreline. because they do stick so close to shore.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, just tiny, tiny dries I've always had luck with. But with the wind the way it was, it's hard to see a size 20 as it is or a size 22 as it is. When you're casting with 50, 60K winds, it's just impossible. So that's why I went nymphing. But it was a solid choice because it took all of 10 minutes to get 4 fish on the board. So,
yeah, that's sweet.
yeah.
Did you guys just stay in the car the night before, then hike up in the morning?
Yeah, so we fished another river in the area the night before. And then my buddy he got a new rooftop tent for his Jeep. So he wanted to test that out. So we gave that a go. It's a pretty nifty way to camp, man. Handy.
Yeah.
Like saying 2 minutes to set it up is like a long time. Like it's actually more like 30 seconds. You push it straight up, it's ready to go. It was so cool.
Yeah. I've been looking at a few just for those road trips that you're gonna move like every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And like for me, who is like that's what I do. Like I own a tent, but I hardly ever use it. I usually just pull into a site and sleep in my truck because to set up my tent is just an extra 20 minutes that night, an extra 20 minutes in the morning to tear everything down. Whereas I can just pile everything in the passenger seat. So
yeah,
one of those rooftop tents are definitely a game changer. I think for myself personally, I'm just going to get a box liner, like a shell, and then do the Maverick style thing, build a bed back there and stuff.
Yeah, those work good too.
Yeah, they're nice.
Broden's floating down.
How you doing? Smashing them.
Catching right now.
Right on, drifting.
And
are you getting any gold eyes? It's almost water bowman season. My least favorite fly in the entire world.
You hate them?
That's so stupid.
They can be pretty good though.
No, I totally agree. 100%.
Once they turn on,
fish hammer them. The two places that I would fish them are so full of boatmen that I like have no confidence in mine getting eaten. So I usually mix around with like a dragonfly nymph or something like that. But bowman season is crush fest because that's fish putting on a ton of weight for winter.
Like this one's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I got a fancy schmancy one. I don't know exactly where it is right now, but it's like yellow and black. Like it is beautiful. I know there's a guy who ties them up north. I can't remember, Redbeard Flyco or something like that. He ties some really nice looking ones.
Yeah, I know. My dad tied a bunch last year, just for that season coming up. The heck is this other one? You can tie simple ones too, like this.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be anything
fancy. Dubbing your tail and a couple rubber legs and
absolutely. I know Costa. I don't know if he's on here, but Chris Costa, he slams on boatmen.
Yeah.
I'm a big balanced leech guy. Like I've been fishing balanced leeches for tigers. They goofiest looking flies. Yeah, they are. They're just weird looking. Like it's just awkward looking. But I've been fishing like a bunch of balanced leeches lately. I don't know how well that's going to totally show up to you guys, but a little bit of black and blue, a little bit of flash in there, right?
Yeah.
And those have been absolutely crushing tigers, just a bruised leech. I mean, I've been getting some really good fish. If Kevin's on here, Kevin got some on the leech. And then the tiny white thing, that's what we call it. It's just a tiny white thing. Because he got it from a gas station. He calls it the tiny white thing because it doesn't look like anything. But he's like, it'll be funny if I get one. He got a beauty tiger on it.
Yeah, no.
Those inflows, guys. Like if there's a lake with like an inflow right now, and I mean everything's getting low, right? For the most part down in south, anyways. If there's any fresh water coming in at all, just expect it to be stacked with fish. If you're not catching them, you're doing something wrong. That's all. Yeah. Because like there'd be days where I'd be like nymphing because there'd be a little bit of wind cover and that bounces your leech along, right? Bounce your leech along. And then the very next day or that evening, you got to switch over to just like a small white streamer. It doesn't have to be big, but like, like a 2-3 inch pattern, a little bit of copper flash on the bottom. And like that's been doing me really well too.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was to, I haven't been spin fishing a whole lot lately, but if I was to be spin fishing, so I got like a lot of messages that were like midsummer that were like, I watched your slip bobber video and it's not working. And it's like, and like I explained, like, unfortunately, it's just like a seasonal thing. Like it's like slip bobbers are super good in the spring before the weeds come up, and you fish them along the rocky edges, and they're going to be really good coming up. It depends on where you're at, how fast the weeds are going to die, all that sort of jazz. But as those weeds are dying off, that slip bobber method comes back into play for those trout, and it's super, super effective. So that's going to be coming back. Did you know back swimmers fly? What?
Then they migrate.
What?
They're stacking up right now to migrate.
They fly, do they actually get? They just come out of the water.
It's the migration.
The great migration of the back swimmers.
That's why there's so many.
Dude, I was rowing for some brookies the other night, and I'm rowing around, and you know those big toe biter things? Like, have you ever watched Coyote Peterson? It's like a giant water boatman that's like this big.
Oh yeah.
But they got pincers on them like this.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if trout eat those.
Those big ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe.
Because like,
that'd be a
if
meal.
you think about it, like a brown, like if you fish, like
trout,
I've never fished New Zealand, but if you fish New Zealand, they eat cicadas, right? Like giant dry flies.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if a brookie would just come up and eat one of those big toe bites. And if they do, that makes me super happy because those things are disgusting.
It'd probably be all you need is a mouse pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right?
Pretty much.
It's just, you never know. They might like flip around and get those pincers on them and grab them by the nose.
Oh, yeah. Then they probably don't eat them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, I'm never eating one of those things again. I'm going back to regular bowmen. Yes, they fly. That's neat. See, like, I don't know. I just fly fish. I don't know about flies.
Yeah.
You know what I love? You know why I fish a pheasant tail so much, honestly? Because it looks like everything.
Yeah.
You just change the size. It looks like everything.
Yeah. It's like Prince Nymphs or.
That would blow my mind too, Colton, man. Like if I just watched like a heap of water bowmen take off, I like might leave the lake.
Just a bunch.
Yeah, micro leeches. Yeah. Like I'm a big fan of those, Brody. Like, and that's like those balance leeches. They're maybe an inch and a half long, right? And those are absolutely still crushing for me for the Tigers. So
yeah,
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tigers are just getting more aggressive right now, anyways.
Yeah, and those big ones, like they sure, like, you know, I was kind of leery when we switched to them because they're an awfully expensive thing for them to be doing. So I was kind of leery about it, you know, like maybe a couple lakes, you don't need to go too crazy with it. But they sure are a fun fish. I just hope that they make sure that they manage them properly and keep an eye on them so that they stick around because it's too expensive to just waste that opportunity. And they're way too cool of a fish.
Yeah, for sure.
So
there's a few lakes they could do better on lately, but there's a couple that I'm going to be talking to them about just to try to get some limits changed a little.
Yeah, I mean, as fishing gains popularity, unfortunately, things like that are going to have to change. I know we all love to keep, like, I love to eat fish, absolutely. But you just got to remember sustainability, right? So keep an eye on that.
You don't got to bonk
everyone. Four nice cutthroats in a sink the other day. They happened to come from a river, and the young fella didn't really realize it. And, you know, that's just, come on, use your head, read the regs.
Well, that's why there should be a course.
Yeah, there should be. Well, things need to change, and I think the right people are looking to make those changes because, I mean, even the Hoot Owl closure, if we want to talk about it, it's stupid. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. What Okay, well, we'll close everything till September 1st. Okay, that's cool. Well, what was September 1st through 5th like down here? Over 30 degrees. So
Yeah.
why did your closure come off? If you're actually worried about things, why did your closure come off?
Who knows?
It just came from letters and letters, and that's why there was never anything that came from ES2 or ES3 because it's not pushed as much because those guys maybe use their heads a little more and go, okay, the temperature is this, I don't need to fish it. You know, and that's what it more should be because a blanket rule doesn't solve anything. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Even
I mean,
ES2 though, the pressure's just been crazy and crazier every year.
and I imagine, yeah.
I think
So
it's
it's
just
just
more
hard to
the
say. Like that was my question was like, okay, ES1 has a closure, including the Bow River. Cool. Do you know how different the Bow River compared to the West Castle River temperatures
yeah.
are? Because I do. It's insane.
Yeah, I think it's
So
more
for
of a
both those to be closed at the same time when one's getting rain and the other one's 30 degrees makes no sense.
yeah. Who
But
knows? It's more of a
it is a
caveat.
step in the right direction. It's just
Yeah.
it needs to be a more detailed process than a blanket rule. That's all.
I think the problem is they just don't have the funding to go to all these different places and implement it, then have it patrolled.
Well, then you can't throw a blanket rule on all of us and call us all basically that we have no mind of our own, right? To check
Yeah.
and make sure. Because a guy like sure, there is uneducated people, absolutely, and you're always going to run into that in both spin and fly fishing, regardless of what either one wants to say. It's both, but it just comes down to education. And if there is a little bit of a course to allow you to fish in ES1, ES2, ES3, or the Bow River, but it's like I don't know. I could go on about this kind of stuff all day because it's like, oh yeah, let's close down the Bow River because it's 30 degrees, but let's leave Peace Bridge open mid-September or October so that it can get crushed.
Yeah.
When it was closed 10 years ago because they knew how detrimental it was to fish those fish at that time.
Yeah.
And to each their own. Do what you want. I don't care. Catch big fish, man. Have fun. That's all. At this point, all I care about is people have fun anymore. Like, just enjoy your fishing because, yeah, things are crazy. So just have fun fishing.
Just
Take
try to do
take
it
the
by the
best care
book.
you can. Take the best care you can of the fish. Get a cool photo and brag all you want because that's all that seems to matter anyways anymore. So,
That's all it is Facebook pictures.
right? We get it for the gram. No, I'm just
Go
kidding.
be the
I
best.
don't just have fun. Like honestly, just have fun. I'm so sick of the arguing and stuff like that. And I know I've been very guilty of it. But I mean, just like you can't my point is like the government can't why should the government expect the anglers to care if that government doesn't even want to spend the money to care? Or they
Yeah.
want to spend the money and not actually care.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put ES2 into that.
Like, okay, they're gonna put a hoot owl closure because of blah 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 blah. How about for the next month of September to October, you put in a no targeting bull trout rule in,
Mm-hmm.
so that if you see a dude
100%.
walking with a 10-inch white streamer, you're like,
Yeah.
hey bud, that's not for cutties.
It's whiteys.
Yeah, that's for whiteys, man. Big whitey spawn by
Big
time.
whiteys.
I see what you're doing. Oh, you're nymphing an egg? That's for bulls.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Same as I think brown trout, like the Red Deer River below the dam, could use some protection on those brown trout when the spawning comes in.
Yeah, and like maybe and like you can always take it in a negative way, right? Like, oh well now that's my favorite thing and now I can't go do it. And I don't target the ones on the reds, I target the ones that are stacked or just dropped out, which is cool. But at the same time, it's like just give them a break for a month.
Yeah.
Go learn something else and
Yeah.
then come back to what you love. Like go learn how to like catch goldeye on the dry fly because it's fun.
Go get
Like
some
it
tigers.
actually is. It's a blast. Or go fish some tigers. Like that's the thing. That's what those stock trout ponds are for. Is like go do it at any time of the year, any temperature, and you'll be able to catch fish as long as you're willing to adjust and adjust and adjust till you figure out where they're at and what they want. But
yeah,
that's what the stock ponds are for, right? So I do understand where they're coming from, and I don't understand where they're coming from. I just wish they were a little more hands-on detailed. And I think that's widespread opinion. And I think I think we'll see changes next year as it moves forward as to how that goes with some of the backlash they saw. You always get the virtue signalers who are like, oh yeah, save the trouties. It's like, yeah, they left it open 8 hours so you could drift your boat and guide people down the bow. Like that's how much you actually care. That's what it's actually open for, right? It's funny how it's open for 8 hours a day. Like, no, that's what's ridiculous to me. It's open 8 hours a day during the hoot closure or whatever. It's like, okay, it closes till midnight. Like what? How about it closes till sundown and then it's open until 10 in the morning? Oh wait, because all those guys who drift can't drift adrift at that time. That's why they don't close it during that time.
Yeah,
if we're being real about it.
That even comes in with the guiding license too.
Yeah, the fact that we don't have a guiding license is pathetic.
That it got shut down this year because they want to just spend a little more time on it. But there's also like they're gonna proposals for limited guides on the bow.
How many?
Only so many fish you can catch a day, then you have to stop. I heard it's just a bunch of stuff that can't be that catching fish, so many fish, then stopping, that can't be regulated.
I'm going to go catch 10, 15-inch rainbows and maybe 1 20-inch brown and go home for the day. I'll pay $600 for that. Never.
But these are all different proposals that happened last year.
See, what you guys need, if anybody ever wants a guide trip, get Dino Malacca Lazardis Guide Service for the Bow River evening special, and you will catch fish. Just make sure your net handle is longer than like 2 feet because he's a tall guy, and like when you're on a bank, it's hard for him, and especially in the dark. He's like, what is with this net, man? What is with this net? I'm short. All I need is it right here, man. He will guide you for a donaire. No, I don't think he takes donaires as payment. No, honestly, Dinos is like, every time I go fishing with Dinos on the bow, it's always good times. Like we always find fish, whether we do really well or we catch a couple. It's yet to be determined always, but that guy will definitely. He knows that river, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
What else are you gonna try to target this fall here? I know Walleye Wars is coming. Was that Friday starts?
Yeah, Walleye Wars starts Friday. So I'll be fishing for some walleyes on Friday evening. Haven't fished walleyes the entire open water season, so that'll be fun.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, there isn't very many entries in Walleye Wars. Now, not that I really promote anything other than my friends, but 35 entries in Walleye Wars is kind of sad.
Yeah.
We should probably try to get on board if we want bigger tournaments to come around our areas and like more tourism to come around our areas. We should probably try to like make tournaments like that a little bigger. But yeah, we'll be fishing in that. That'll be fun. Hopefully, I think it'll obviously take over 30 to win it. Whether it takes over 31 is to be determined. But I would like to put an over 31-inch fish on the board, especially my first time targeting walleye this year. It'd be pretty good. I think I know them half decently, so it'd be good to kind of nail that coffin close that I do know where they're going to be at. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't see Bryce's name in there.
I could use a live scope. and Bryce in there. Bryce is a danger, right? And Jake, like don't underestimate Jake, man. He will mess you up.
Yeah, they did super good last year. I think they got like at least 6 of the top 10 spots.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and this year I think you can only get one top 10 spot. So if he does enter, I'm sure that we will see both their names in there, which would be super sweet. Is anybody on the chat right now, or is anybody fishing in Walleye Wars? If you are, say I. If you're not, say no. But I don't know. I think I'm probably just gonna start by bottom bouncing, drifting along bottom bouncing, see if I can locate a school of fish. Move from there and maybe jig some. See how aggressive they are. I'd like to jig some rattle masters or whatever you call them, Acme hyperglides and stuff like that. But I do get big fish like that. But we'll see what happens. I got my special bait ready to go.
Last year I did really good on the live target golden shiner.
Oh yeah. Rip and wraps I do good on this time of year and those live targets. Yeah. Might troll some cranks too, like for suspended over like 35 feet or over 30 feet or something like that. Troll cranks like 20, 15 feet down. See what happens.
Yeah.
You can get big fish like that, but that's all you're going to get like that. That's the whole goal, though. I don't want to catch dinks. I got outfished for walleye by Paisley and Michelle on the weekend, so I'm done with walleye. That's all right. You got big Lakers to focus on, and those two are slayers. Those girls teamed up on you. That's not even fair. How did Dex do? Was Dex out there? Because I bet you he was hammering if he was out there. He was probably holding up the boys' end of the score, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no. They're always slaying out there.
Oh yeah, that family sure knows how to have fun on the water. That's for sure. Whether they're tubing around on the beach or nice. Ooh. I got a little more money to throw away at another tournament. Which one, Broden? I wish I was in a golden trout tournament this weekend because 13 was pretty ridiculous. And like, honestly, I fished horribly, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with me lately, but I am fishing horribly. Like, at one point, dude, so I'm fishing, and this was kind of weird because I'm fishing 6X. 6X is like 3.2 pound. So I'm fishing 6X, and I like got snagged a little bit on the rock ledge and popped it off. And I cast back out because I can see I still got both flies. I don't expect them, but I got both flies. Pop it out. Indicator goes down. This is all on film, by the way. Indicator goes down. Hook set, miss. I'm like, huh. Flip it out. 2 minutes later, indicator goes down. Hook set, miss. I'm like, huh. It happened like 4 or 5 times, and I go, dude, it's like I'm not fishing with a hook here. And so I like inspect my flies. I'm like, sure shit, my hook is broke off my fly before the 6X broke somehow.
Oh, yeah.
So I had about 5 goldens take a pheasant tail that looked super natural because it actually had no hook bend on it at all, which was cool. But it was such a good day that didn't even really matter. Like, it was funny. Another one, I was trying to light a cigarette, but my line was wrapped around the tip of my rod, so I had my rod sitting in the water, and I had one hand on it, and I had my lighter in my hand, and I was trying to get the line off my tip of my rod, and my indicator goes under, so I set the hook with my hand, and I try to pull this golden in, and it's a rock face, so it just shears my 6X right off. I was like, oh, that was stupid. So it was that kind of day, but I still managed to do well.
That's sweet.
Just because I fish on YouTube doesn't mean I know what I'm doing or I'm good, just so anybody knows.
Did you try that new Piscifun reel?
Yeah, I did. I tried it for tigers. It was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really nice. Like, I wouldn't put it on Carbon X nice, but it was definitely, like, it's as good as the Viper, no doubt, for sure.
The fly reel or the
Oh, the Piscofun fly reel. Yeah, I tried it out too. It was really nice. I've used
yeah,
it like a few times now. I was using it for tigers. The drag's super smooth on it. Um,
yeah,
I've caught quite a few fish on it now. It works well. And I got this new line for it that's like it's like just indicator nymphing line.
oh yeah,
So it's got like an orange tip in the last, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 inches of the fly line. And your taper goes, so if you guys understand tapers, the taper on this fly line, it goes like out towards the head, and then it's got a super bulk point. And in the wind, that stuff casts so nice. So, so nice. So I was happy to have that on the top of the mountain because otherwise it would have been a struggle casting some regular double taper line, which I have on my other reel. So, which the taper goes the complete opposite way. It gets thinner as it goes to the end.
yeah, yeah. I can't wait to try mine this weekend. I
Yeah,
picked
like
up
it's really nice, dude. You'll like it.
I picked up a 6 weight,
Yeah.
so we'll
Yeah,
see.
that reel is really nice. And then I tried the Oric for some tigers, the spinning reel, their new spinning reel.
Yeah,
It's really nice as well. And it saved me in a situation. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. It saved me in a situation because my Shimano reel died on me. I got a pickle rig on this, so enjoy that. But this
nice.
Piscofun Oric, like, dude, it's really nice. It's really smooth.
Yeah.
And it's a good look. Black and gold, like, how can you go wrong with black and gold? And pickle rigs.
It's a solid price point too on that one.
If you notice, this is completely horribly tangled. My fly rod's now on the ground, and my sturgeon rod is pointing towards the roof. I'm pretty good at stuff. But no, I'm excited for trout more than like, I mean, I am excited for walleye wars, but I'm excited for trout fishing more this fall than anything for sure, because as it cools off, as the water cools off, even the stock ponds, they're going to turn on like crazy. So brookies, tigers, rainbows, which are already fishing well, are going to fish that much better. The cutties, they're going to be eating more in the streams, right? If you can, leave the bulls alone for the month. If you can't, I mean, they're going to be eating like crazy, obviously. So yeah, like it's an exciting time of year. The walleye, the pike are fishable again. Like, I think one thing that's not talked about a whole lot is how horrible pike do in the summertime. And like when you have 30-degree temperatures, and I don't even know how warm the lakes get because I tend not to fish them at that point. But like, water's so warm, it kills the pike when you catch them. Like, catching pike in 30-degree weather is like not cool.
You get those red fins.
Yeah, like compared to fishing trout water in 65, it's actually like way worse.
Yeah.
Because trout in 65, they're super stoked. You just can't fight them for a long time. Like, they're super hungry. They're eating like crazy. You just can't fight them forever.
No, get them in, chase them.
Lactic acid builds up fast. And like pike, it's like, oh, it swam off fine. Yeah, to go die away from you.
Yeah. You can tell the stressed one. They'll have those red fins. And
yeah, and like that's the one thing that like the government or whatever, whoever's in charge of whatever they think they're in charge of doesn't ever talk about is like how horrible it is for that. And like whitefish, like you shouldn't target whitefish, like lake whitefish, unless you plan on just keeping every single one you catch, because every single one is going to die that you catch. Then again, there's a limit of 10 on every single lake, so they don't really give a shit.
No, they don't. That's a big problem. Like, Sylvan's going to be out of them soon.
The burbot thing is another scary thing too, right? Like, I don't know how you guys have a lot more protection for them up there than we do down here.
Yeah, that's the same as up north too. Like, north's 10 a day.
Yeah, and that's down here 10 a day. Some lakes are 15.
Yeah,
like that's devastating.
Yeah, that's hard on some fish.
And like, I don't know, like I fish for sport mostly, right? So like for me, like I want to be able to catch trophies. So like when they're not there, it's kind of a pain. It's
Yeah.
burb time now for me. Yeah, you should be. You should be catching burbot. You want to go for Goldens, Dino? I know how excited he would be to go for Goldens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd love that hike.
Oh yeah. He would actually do just fine on it. It's not even bad. Like it's literally like I don't know. It doesn't even take my breath away anymore. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
You'd be fine, you know. Put the Spartan helmet on.
I don't even know if I would do it very good.
Oh, you'd do fine.
Too much.
All you need is a couple flies, a water bottle, a backpack, your waders, some long underwear for underneath your waders. If yours are like mine and they leak like crazy. I was pretty much standing in the water. It was awesome. But
Sweet.
no, the fishing was super hot, so it was good.
Yeah, it seemed like that lake was kind of hot the last like few weeks. A few people have done really well up there.
Yeah, I mean, I when it opens, it's really busy. I try to just avoid it, and then I just go show up there on a random day, and later, and as the fall comes around, and do my once a year trip, and that's about it.
Yeah, I know Ricky finished his all the golden trout lakes this year in Alberta.
So let's talk about the fact that Ricky hiked 57 kilometers out of Coral Lake. Congrats to that guy. He deserves
57?
a ton of props. It's 50. It's 57 kilometers to hike out of there. That I watched the video series, Ricky. I don't know if he's on here. That's super impressive, man. That's a level of commitment that I'm not sure that I have for not golden trout, but just like I don't think I want to hike that long.
You think it's 57? Because Michelle's 16 something.
Dude, it literally, I think the title is I hiked 57 kilometers.
Did he go the wrong way for a bit?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's that far.
I'd have to look at it again, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's super far.
That's like Red Deer to Rocky almost.
Well, that's where he lives.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I think he lives in BC again. He was catching pink salmon the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, like I was excited to experiment with a bunch of new fly lines this year. Like I've been fly fishing a lot, which is kind of silly because I should probably spin fish a little more. Because 47. Okay, yeah, 47, not 57. Yeah, man, that's like that's legendary. That's a long way to hike with a pack on your back.
Like mule deer,
regardless if you're going for fishing or not. Like 47 kilometers is a long way.
Mule deer down south, it's pretty flat. We do like between 25 and 30 a day.
Yeah.
And that's just with a frame pack and a couple sandwiches and water.
Yeah.
But that's
imagine what he had to have to be up there, man. So
crazy.
Power to that guy. That's sick. Epic. Plus, he looks like he could put you in a headlock and put Hamzat in a headlock these days and put him out cold, man.
Yeah, no, he's
Grickles Fisher going. He's gonna Nate Diaz, yeah.
He's gonna have to change his picture. It's just a fish in a headlock.
Yeah, man. He's a stud. Women, get on that. I love saying that about my friends, man.
You should probably set him
up. Get on that. Like, they're single. Get on that.
You probably need a Tinder account for him and just forward stuff to him.
I should, dude. I could get so many sweet pics. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
I'm sure he could just
I like long hikes, 47 kilometers to be exact. Trout that are pretty as you are. Like, just dreamboat stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Someone's going to tell him about this. He's going to be like, you're so stupid, Adam.
No, maybe we should just have a picture of him and just post it everywhere on all the different fishing sites. Ready to mingle.
We don't want to crash Facebook because his DMs went so wild. Dude, it's just rude.
Yeah. Poor Ricky.
No. No, that's an epic adventure, and I mean Goldens. I mean they're a super cool fish. So that was a lot of fun, and it's good to see a lot of people getting them lately. So it's
Yeah.
cool. It's a bucket list fish for a lot of people, right? So it's nice when people get them.
Yeah, for sure.
I know my buddy when he got his first one on there, he's like, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. He's like, there's no way it could be anything else. I was like, no, it can't be anything else, man. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh, it was epic. And that was a nice one. That was like a 14, 15-inch fish, his first one.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, it was
That's
a
a big one.
really, really nice one. So,
Very nice.
yeah.
Yeah, one of these years. Maybe next year.
They're just stunning. Like every fish has a different color. Like they're really neat and they're really aggressive. So it's funny. Like your indicator doesn't just like bob; it shoots under. I think I need a
Yeah.
golden and a laker on the fly. Go get a dinky laker.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Just go to Abraham.
They're like bull trouts. Go to Crow. Go if you really want a laker on the fly. Go to Crow's Nest or Emerald.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen.
We almost stopped at Crow when me and Broden went down to BC.
Oh yeah.
It was just too windy to take Tenny out.
Yeah. Hey.
We are gonna go chase some because I know there's a few big ones in there.
Oh, there's big fish in there.
Yeah.
Doubt about that. There's a couple of old guys who go out there a lot, and I've seen some big fish out of there.
Yeah. It's just that wind always.
It's the wind, and it is difficult because like it's a very structure-filled lake.
Yeah.
So the fish are you're either in a pocket with fish or you're in a pocket with a bunch of small fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what and it's changes every single day which one has them. So
Yeah. You think right now would be a prime time to start getting on that lake if you can.
oh yeah,
That bite tree
absolutely.
firing up.
There's lots of humps on it.
Yeah, no, I had the Garmin. I really wanted to go in there and do some side imaging and whatnot and just explore it. But
there's lots of humps on it. So if you were to get on that lake right now, it'd be well, I would almost wait like Scott said there. October is when they're actually doing their thing. They'll be right up on those humps. So that'd be the best time to go get them.
yeah. Yeah, I know I tried a lake around here the other day. Me and Dad went, but we were late. But, man, we couldn't even mark one out there.
Yeah, hey.
It was brutal. But it's a tricky lake.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a tricky lake. And, like, marking bottom there is also tricky because there is so much structure. If that laker's holding tight, you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the problem with sonars, too. Right? That's why live scope is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
A beautifully horrible thing. Takes a lot out of
it. Yeah.
I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. The worst thing that ever happened to fishing is social media, not live scope.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. All
the good spots.
As much as everyone wants to say live scope's the worst thing, it's not. It's not even close. Turn some video game like
it's a video game
dimension to it. Like it turned like a video game dimension to it a little bit. But even then, like you can get guys who are too dumb to spend, and I shouldn't say that. Sorry guys, my vocabulary is horrible. But you get guys that'll spend too much time on a fish that's not going to eat what you're putting in front of it. Like there's times when walleyes, you can see them on your live scope, and I'm sure you'll never get it to eat. I mean, they're different. Walleyes are weird like that, right? Like you can sit at a cutthroat stream and see a nice cut and drag 6 different nymphs past it, and the 7th one it'll eat it. 100% it'll eat it, as long as you're not using like 20-pound line or something like that. But like, as long as you just switch it up, they'll eat it. Walleyes aren't like that. They'll be shut down, right? And you'll get guys who'll spend too much time on a fish. You waste 2 hours in a tournament because you see a giant on the bottom while you burn 2 hours.
Yeah, if it's a belly dragger, leave it alone. If it's hugging them, if it's off of the ground, target it. But if it's just lumped,
yeah,
everything I've ever seen, every time I've seen fish like that, they're not aggressive. They're not gonna. I've gone down to
It's
tungstens
gonna
and
take
stuff. And
very little
sometimes,
thing. You're gonna have to like Lindy rig them.
yeah, like I've
So
gone down to tungstens and got them
yeah.
on small stuff like that, just because it's effortless, right?
Mm.
But if you're looking for that active bite, make sure when you're marking something, it's off. There's a space between the bottom.
Yeah, because like you can waste so much time doing that.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
So like live scope is an advantage and it's a disadvantage whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because you can stare at it all day and be like, oh.
But I sure would like to win walleye wars and have one. I'll tell you that.
That's facts right there.
Walk into ice season with a live scope. Ooh, week.
Yeah, because even on like Cold Lake when we were in that tournament, me and Adam, my buddy there was a guy with a live scope beside us anchored, but we kept just going up and down the drop off, and we're hooking up so much more because we're just getting into different active fish, right?
Yeah.
And we're only moving 40 yards maybe, but we were hooking up every time we're going up and down.
Yeah.
And you could hear them, oh, here he comes, and it'd go away. Oh, here's another one. But
Not gonna work.
you're not going to
Eventually,
catch as much.
that's the thing, is like you'll be like, oh well, they're interacting. But they're
Yeah.
not eating. So either you gotta change your lure. At that point, those guys gotta change their lure or whatever. Take the 6-inch tube jig or the 4-inch TC Moto off and put something else on. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a hindrance to some guys because they start relying on it too much, right?
Mm-hmm. I always think
I know guys will say, if I don't see a fish on the live scope, I'm not fishing there. And like, okay, to dead stop and jig, I might be able to get on board with that. Probably not though, because fish cycle too much. If I know it's a good area, right? But the whole not fishing if you're not seeing fish thing is like you're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
I've hooked giant fish when I'm at least expecting it many times. Many times.
100%.
Even this weekend, I caught probably a 19, 20-inch cutthroat. It was like I was like getting towards the end of the tail. I stopped mending and I just let my fly swing, and I wasn't even really paying attention. And I seen it drop out of the corner of my eye. I set the hook. I was like, "Oh, that's a solid fish." And just because I didn't notice him at the back of the pool, I was like, "Oh, I didn't see it, so it's probably not there." And I just let my fly swing before I flipped them back over, and he happened to be sitting there and ate him. So
yeah, I've got some nice cutties out of the tail outs this year.
Oh yeah.
With clients, so we did really good on some tail outs in the headwaters.
Oh yeah.
Right at the top of those runs, but
so yeah, it's funny. So like you said, like I say, like I don't know. I never let my electronics control the way I fish. That's for sure. Not that I have like anything fancy, but come on down, 23 fish in 4 sessions.
he's recruiting Jared down there.
Yeah,
for some birds.
That's epic. We need one with a horn on its head, and we need a 44-incher.
Yeah.
Scott has 2 of the biggest burbs that I've seen.
Doesn't he? What did he get?
He got 42 or a 43.
And why did that go in Alberta? Second, first, second, third? It was up there.
Yeah, it was up there. It's either second or first. I think it might even be first in Alberta. And then second, it's right behind Conrad's world record, so it's massive. It's longer than Conrad's world record. It just didn't have the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's got one that had a big knuckle on its head, and I think that one was like 38 or 39 or something. He'll say here.
Yeah, they're big,
it's a giant, like big knuckleball one.
It's just the feed bag they get out of that Diefenbaker compared to
it's crazy.
Dino's getting his. It's just all the food in there pretty much. Puts the belly on them.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I'm excited for. Burb's the best.
I do love burb fishing. Technically longer than world record. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely longer. It was only like a pound or two lighter though. For some, like, I don't know, not for some reason. I mean, a pound or two lighter is definitely nothing to be taken lightly. Like
That's crazy.
that's an epic fish, man.
Oh yeah.
I remember him sending me that one, and the pictures are in the kitchen. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's got like a birthmark spot on it. It's so big. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was an amazing
Dino's
fish.
got some
All
big
that
fish.
backstrap. That
Oh,
probably
yeah,
took
man.
2 feet.
I think I still have a burb in the fridge too. I might have to eat that here soon.
Better get on it. Some
Yeah,
bird burritos.
it's almost time. Yeah, burb burritos. Or just straight burbs dipped in butter. That's like my jam. Just
Do you
burbs dipped
boil
in
it
butter.
like lobster?
So, yeah, I boil it and then I sear it really quick in a butter pan. And then I just dip it in melted butter and watch my health decline and my heart go up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much that beats that right there.
Double battered walleyes are pretty good. Double battered Cajun walleyes.
Double
I
batter.
think that beats burbs. Yeah, man. You throw it in there, boom, out into the water, back into the bag, jam it around, into the grease.
Oh man.
Little bit of
Yeah,
Frank's
that's
on
hard.
there. That
That's
is
the harder
fire.
part.
Extra crispy. And the Perch Slayer's lemon pepper sauce on top of it.
Is that the new sauce he has out?
Well, I seen Lexi's Lures has some spice out now. I
Like the
didn't
old
see if it was the same style or not, but I know
think it
that
might-
the Perch Slayer's lemon pepper is fire.
I know he said it was the Weatherford kind of ones. If you ever had that, and that was
Oh,
really
okay,
good.
like the Weatherford steak spice stuff.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's what
okay.
and that's good stuff.
Oh yeah, that stuff's really good. If you guys don't follow Lexi's Lures, go get some of those trolling harnesses. She's got killer butterfly trolling harnesses. The butterfly, if you want to catch big walleyes, butterfly blades. Butterfly blades. I won't tell you what to put on the hook. It's not alive though.
No, butterflies are so nice. You can get that slow troll rocking.
Oh yeah, man. Butterflies are I don't even want to troll anything else. I don't like trolling normal blades.
No.
No. Butterflies all the way.
Well,
and keep your bait at home because you don't need bait for big walleyes. Big walleyes don't like bait.
Just jerky.
Tip of the day from Adam. I don't catch many big walleyes on bait at all. Almost never.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really caught any either except for Lake Winnipeg on
My
spoons.
My top five biggest walleyes. Golden black cotton cordell. 33. Bottom bouncing. I won't tell you what was on the back of the smiley blade, but it was an orange smiley blade rig. Oh, that's tough. It was either a Sex Dungeon fly or a 1/4 ounce golden red Cleo, and then a 1/4 ounce golden red Cleo. Those are my top five biggest walleye lures.
Yeah.
Those fish were definitely all over 10 pounds. Most of them are over 11.
Yeah, I think
it's weird. My 33 was only like just 10 pounds, but I got a 28 that is 12 and a half.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's weird.
Yeah, cranks are sweet.
I would take that 33 for walleye wars right now, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's a winner.
It's just too early for river cranks. For big ones.
Yeah.
Big walleyes.
I think the biggest wall I got in Alberta is from a river on a crank.
Yeah, same here. It's just like we're like a month too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's next month or this month.
Ice fishing's
you
like
could
Winnipeg.
probably smash them. Just pop small paddle tails in the river. I bet you get them though. Take a 3-inch
Oh, yeah.
white or black paddle tail, or like a Mr. Twister, like a black twister, orange twister. You'll hammer them.
It's Mr. Ice. You made it.
We were just talking about you, kind sir.
Yeah.
Some guy told me, he's like, I said, good morning, sir, this weekend as he was walking by our campsite. He's like, don't call me sir. I was like, well, you can blame my mom for that. He's like, what do you call your friend? And we won't say what I called my friend, but it was pretty funny. I just don't understand. Like, sir and ma'am, like, are like, I almost feel like, I don't know why. Why? One day I hope someone calls me, like, like, not yet, because I'll know they're just messing with me, but like, when I'm like 50 and some young lad's like, let me take that grocery cart and put it away for you, sir. I'll be like, yeah, I made it. I am a sir.
Maybe he
Until
thought
then,
he was
don't
younger
call
than he
me
was.
sir. Don't call me nothing.
Maybe he was actually like 40.
No, I mean,
and he was
if he
offended by
if
you
he
calling him.
accumulated that beer belly and that white hair before 40, I would be impressed.
Yeah.
Like I'm going a little gray here. You probably won't be able to see it there, but I don't think by 40 I'll be gray. This dude was white.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like probably like, I was just trying to be polite. He was being funny. He was drinking a beer too. So it was like 6 a.m. Like, okay, bro, how's it going?
Hey,
Hooked up fishing gear. How you guys doing?
Everyone just gets on when it's time to go.
That's all right, because I don't mind. I like overtime better than regular time anyway.
Okay, then I better go get overtime and take a pee.
Okay.
You have to keep them going.
You get overtime and take a pee. Oh, he can't pop questions up while we see this, so I'm gonna have to just ramble. So, anyone going for Goldens? Which September is my favorite month. There's regular pheasant tails that you get from like Canadian Tire, which is like the super fly ones with the bead head, the gold bead head. Yeah, anyways, you get the point. What a regular pheasant tail looks like, anyone who's still on here. I get tungsten one side on a jig hook. Oh, where is it? There we go. So your hook's actually pointed up, and this is the same fly I caught that brown on. So the hook's actually pointed up and your line's tied off to the top. So every time your indicator drops, it's because it's in its beak. They set themselves. So if you guys tie for yourself, start tying on jig hooks, because that's all I use for nymphs anymore. They just way better. Size 18, size 16 pheasant tail. 2 most popular flies I fish, and they catch me everything. Other than the leech for stock trout. And I'm only talking about stock trout because that's what I think this whole episode is supposed to be about. I'm not sure. Yes. Dry flies are for guides who want clients to have the best experience ever. Nymphs are for guys who want to catch a shit ton of fish and big ones. That's my. If you take one thing from this podcast and you're still on here, it's that dries are for the guides and nymphs are for the pimps. We just came up with a new saying.
I heard.
It's sick, eh?
I heard you dropping knowledge.
I was bad. Dry flies are for the guides and for the client to have a super nice experience, and nymphs are for guys who want to catch fish and big fish.
Yeah.
Unless you want to throw streamers. If you want to throw streamers are dope. That's how you catch big fish. But I've got a big beer belly and bald. Yeah, but you're like, you're studly, man. This guy was clearly. I'm not trying to be rude. The guy was at least 60 years old, man. He's taking a dump. That's actually how I start my golden trout video. If anyone is interested in watching that one whenever it comes out.
A POV.
No, I'm just like I'm like, well, I fart as I'm doing the intro and it's horrible. And then I'm like, wow, I got to take a dump before we go fishing. So it's really funny. Should be a funny video.
That's sweet.
I shout out my sponsor, Walmart, like 16 times. Like anybody, like, so here's another thing. And I learned this from Kyle. And like, oh, I wouldn't say I learned this from Kyle, but Kyle definitely, I heard him say it one time and it kind of reiterated it to me that, like, yeah, that's fucking genius. Oh, excuse me. We're in overtime. That doesn't matter. You need a good reel. You don't need a good rod. Like, a lot of the stuff that I buy is cheap. Like, for instance, like wading boots. Like, wading boots are pretty expensive, I think. But I don't know because I've never bought a pair. Because $20 Walmart running shoes are way more comfortable, way more agile, and work just as good and probably last half the amount of time. But you only got to buy a second pair and you're only at $40.
Yeah.
I'm big on Walmart running shoes and Walmart backpacks.
You should probably put out a campaign right now.
Yeah.
To Walmart. And maybe
oh, dude, I'm like, it's funny because I'm like all serious. I'm like sitting next to this rock. I'm like, I just want to give you guys like a serious moment for a second and talk about like the need for some good footwear on these long hikes. So like I got my Ozark Trail $20 running shoes on and we're just killing it. It's funny. I might swear a bit. I've decided that on YouTube I'm just gonna let the swearing fly because I don't get money off it anyway.
Yeah.
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 The beeping's annoying. Am I right?
The beeping?
Yeah, like, well, if you fish with Mort, if you ever have a fishing video with Mort, you'll learn how to use your bleep button really well.
Oh.
Because there's not a whole lot of non-F words that come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to let that stuff fly from now on. So if you're subscribed to my channel, do not watch it with your children unless you're all right with your children hearing the F word.
Will you have to put it under the child, not rated for child then?
Oh, yeah, I always put it up as not rated for children anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't buy much like super good gear. Most of it's just whatever's on sale, right?
Yeah, dude, like I'm big, like Piscafun, like, I mean, you kind of introduced me to them. Their reels are incredible.
Great price.
Yeah, great price point, great quality, max catch, great rods for what you pay for them. They aren't necessarily the best rods, but they're gonna do what you need them to do. And if you break them, you pay $20 and they'll ship you a brand new entire rod, not just the piece. They just ship you a whole new rod because they don't understand what you're even saying anyway.
Yeah.
So you get a whole new rod. Like, well, I'm not trying to be rude, man.
You're picking on old people.
Well, I like said, I was like, all I need is a tip though, and they're like, yeah, well, we'll just send you the whole rod. I was like, oh, okay. Like I just need the tip. They're like, yeah, but we'll just give you the whole rod. Okay. So I'm really a big fan of that warranty. And not to mention, their fly lines are incredible. I don't know if I should say incredible. The fly lines are really good. And they have all different tapers. They're all like $30. They're not $90 fly lines like you get from Rio and stuff like that. Really? Not taking away from those $90 lines. They're really, really, really high-end lines.
Like 130.
Yeah, like I have like some Rio lines. Like they're really high-end lines. They cast really, really well. But this is one thing that I learned from like the gents. I watch the Jensens a lot. You don't even have to be good at casting when it comes to fly fishing to catch fish because half the casts that you make in Alberta are 30 feet long.
Yeah.
And 30 feet long is your rod plus 20 feet. So, and your leader is already 10 feet. So that's only 10 feet of fly line.
Yeah.
I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, on most of our river systems, you're not really casting that much further than that, unless you want to stand at the back of the pool and hit the top of the pool. But that just makes your hook set harder anyway.
Yeah. Stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It saves you from that mess.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you can cast a million times and you're going to hit a tree no matter how many years you've been doing it. I mean, I've only been fly fishing for 5 years, so like I'm very new, very new. But I've taken a lot of time to learn and watch things, and it's like no matter what, no matter who I go fishing with, no matter who I watch fishing, no matter who I talk to about it, it's like Dave, for instance, he's been fly fishing for 40 years. He's like, yeah, I hit trees all the time. You don't suck. You're trying to make an exact cast, and you hit a tree, and it's whatever. Doesn't matter. And that's one of the things that it's been the biggest learning curve in my ability to do better fishing is calming the hell down.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If you're not mellow, you're just not going to have a good day.
Yeah, like I'm really bad on myself. And like it'll be like I'll like watch a buddy like throw a spinner where it's like, how did you not make that cast? But it's like I'll never ever say that. Right? Like it'll be like, oh bro, like whatever, whatever. Like, and then it's like I'll do the same thing, and it's like, you suck so horribly. What do you do? It's like you can't talk to yourself like that in fishing. Like it just throws you right off. I think it's with anything, right? But with fishing, it throws you off especially. Just pull the 8-weight and plunge it. Yeah, 8-weight, 9-weight, 6, 7, whatever.
It's too big for me.
No, I think
Maybe
I got 3, 5, 6, 8, 9.
Yeah, I was 3-3. I broke
I don't
my
even
5.
know what my real lines are. How can you guys remember that?
I think I just got Rio on that Piscifun.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I got like
Echo.
sink tip Rios and I got floating Rios, and honestly, like that max catch nymph line is like probably my favorite right now. It's right here, so I'll pull it down quick. Oh. But so if you guys Euro nymph, or if you don't Euro nymph and you fish streamers on floating line in a lot of the rivers like you do,
yeah,
at least you should be doing, you sometimes have a pain in the butt because you can't see the tip of your line. So this goes from blue, and your last tip section, which is this long, is orange. So it's super visible. And like I say, my taper comes from small to big here instead of a lot of times the weight forward line. It does the same thing, but your head isn't as heavy. The front 30 feet of fly line all weighs the same, but it does depend how your taper is, how it's going to land.
Yeah.
This shoots through the wind like you would not believe. Like I was literally fishing 70K winds on the top of South Fork, making 50, 60-yard casts, or foot casts, not yard casts, out into the lake because the heavy line. It was like, I wanted to fish a 3-weight, don't get me wrong, because you're catching 10, 12-inch fish, but you need to adjust for the situation in the wind, right? Especially when it comes to fly fishing.
For sure.
But yeah, that stuff's only like $30 or $31. Like it's cheap, it's nice. This Piscifun reel was like $80. Super, super nice, super smooth. I caught some big tigers and bows on it. Drag was super nice. No complaints at all. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't make noise when you reel.
When you reel?
Yeah, which like is so minor it doesn't matter. There's just no clicker at all to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the click.
Yeah, I like having a bit of a click, but there's no clicker to it. But I mean, it's a nice reel. I'm a big fan of this blue one. I got blue with the purple backing. Max Catch has every color backing you could ever think of.
Oh yeah.
I sound like I'm like a sponsored Max Catch guy, but I just like cheap stuff and I like cool stuff.
No.
So.
Sounds like an amazing deal for that line. I might have to get some and try her out.
Yeah, dude, the nymph line is super nice. And then I got they have this trout line, which I say like I say, the taper goes the opposite way. So it's nice for like, say, if you were fishing the ram, excuse me, sorry, fishing the ram, or Castle or Old Man or Livingston or whatever, because it's going to land super soft as that taper rolls into your leader, and then your taper is going to roll even softer. So like it's perfect dry fly line.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Broden has everything though. When we went fly fishing, he had like I don't even know how many fly rods he bought and stuff, and I just had my 3-weight and my 5-weight and like a little box of flies that I use.
I have a ridiculous amount of fishing gear. Period. Comes with being single for many years and not having any other responsibilities other than living, making sure I survive.
Yeah, I always just figure like I have my things I know that's gonna work and what I like, and I'll just have that stacked up, kind of.
Yeah, hey.
And I can
Yeah, I
usually
got
pack.
like yeah, like I have I mean, when it comes to the flies that I buy, I used to be like ridiculous and buy all sorts of stuff. Now, if you look at my box, it's like hare's ear variations and pheasant tail variations, and like some stones and some San Juans, and like that's just like the small box from the weekend. But like the stones are only in there right now for it to be a point fly off the front if I'm drifting double nymphs, right? Because it's a lot. It's really, really heavy. They're double bead headed. They're lead wrapped. They're really heavy. So then it just drags that pheasant tail up a little bit behind it. But yeah, like when it comes to actual flies, I barely carry anything anymore. It's like I got like 20 different pheasant tails, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then 6 different rods, though.
Yeah, I'll have my top flies, then I'll have a dropper.
Yeah.
Then I'll have a selection of droppers if I'm just nymphing or something. Then I'll
Yeah.
have my streamer box.
Yeah, hey.
And that's it.
Yeah, I have a ridiculous amount of flies.
I have
I was
lots
like,
of flies.
I was kind of hoping to see a bull not spawning this weekend. Well, I don't even know what I was really thinking, because even if it was stacked, I probably wasn't going to fish it anyways. But I brought this bad boy. This is the big old pike fly. I was going to throw that for it.
That's greasy.
But that's why you need like an 8 or a 9, right? Why don't they make clear fly line? I want clear fly line. What are you talking about?
Oh, Dino.
So you can get clear floating line, but this stuff is clear with like a little bit of like camo in it, basically. Like it's clear under the water. You can't see it. The colors are just like kind of mixed in. But that stuff is awesome, dude. It's just on a terrible, terrible reel. But I seen some stuff on Amazon the other day that was like straight up clear floating fly line.
For those spring-fed creeks or what?
I guess
do you think that would make a difference, or just the slapping and just the seeing the wake from the line?
In my opinion, if you line the fish in a spring creek, you're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you line them in if your fly line goes over them in a spring creek, you're screwed. Out in a place like Bow River, which would maybe be what Dinos is referring to, I could see it being valuable for sure, as long as you have a good bright colored indicator on and you're not. The problem is going to be if you ever try to strip a streamer on that, it's going to be 100% feel instead of like that nymph line. You'll be able to see a tap, tap, tap on that.
Yeah, you need that for those nymph lines. You have to watch.
And I don't think line overly spooks fish unless you're in really flat water. You have to be in pretty flat water to spook a fish by lining it.
But brown trout, they're a one cast fish usually.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of this stuff actually is completely clear. Some of it's completely clear. Some of it's like lightish, like super clear, but lightish brown, lightish green. Some sort of real line. That's what I mean. I don't understand how you guys know that. It's some sort of real line.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
I would like to get back up to the boat before the Browns do their thing away, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you probably got a few weeks, a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
October, they usually start.
yeah. But other than that, it's like honestly, like Mitch mentioned earlier, like you mentioned earlier, man. If you guys don't have something that you need for ice fishing season, I'd order it now because it's going to be pretty tough to get it pretty soon. We're only a month and what do you figure, month and a half out?
Month and a half from
Max
out.
month and a half out. Max month and a half out, I think.
Well,
So,
what's it today? 13th? 14th? 13th.
well,
13th today.
I was assuming it was the 15th, so that's my fault. But yeah, I'm saying like November 1st, you're gonna need it, right? So you need time to research it, make sure someone's got it. You got to get it in from them. Make sure you know how to use it.
Yeah, get your orders in.
Yeah.
Check out these guys. Check out the Hooked Up Fishing Gear guy. Make sure you get your orders in.
I can't wait to dangle ice rods. I do love ice fishing because that gives like I don't use electronics a lot because I fish from shore, right? So I get to use my electronics when I ice fish, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I think it opens up a lot of.
Are you going to be a big rod guy this year? Long rod guy?
I got 2 big rods.
Yeah.
Not as big as yours.
Not the 50s.
Not as big as your rod, Adam, but
39 is like my favorite length.
This Masuda.
Yeah.
But it's only, I think this is a 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say 39 is my favorite length. That's what I pretty much only order now is 39s, other than my run and gun 50. But 39 is like super nice. Whether it's light, medium, medium light, medium heavy. Actually, I have a 42-inch medium heavy Fenwick, which I like very much.
Yeah. Yeah, that Masuda seems to have a lot of backbone. I tested it all last year on Lakers and 40+ inch pike. So
all these rods are in stock right now, which never happens.
The Frostbite.
Yeah, the whole series is in stock. All the spoons are in stock. If you want Frostbite gear and not get the shitty colors, I would order them now.
Yeah, beat the rush. Beat the rush on everything.
They don't restock like some colors. They really don't get back in for some of their lures. And I understand why. Like it's just crazy, but yeah, like it's hard to get their stuff. So like I've always 16 to 18-inch perch life. I won't hold my breath.
That's a big perch.
I'd love to see it, but I won't hold my breath. But yeah, these rods, like I don't know, they're pretty much all that I use anymore of the Frostbite series, and they're like super good.
Nice. Yeah, no, I got to order a few more rods, and a couple more reels.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I probably should get another Carbon X.
Yeah. Or Honor XTs are really nice too. Super sick drag.
I had 2 Shimano's crap the bed on me this year, so.
Shimano.
I am not buying any more of them. I looked at the Shimano X8, it was like $80 or something, which is a good price. Don't get me wrong. And it's really nice reel. But it's just hard for me to commit to it after I've had so many problems with Shimano's.
Yeah. More dinner
bells. Yeah, dinner bells are good. I just wish there was this actual medium. Like
medium
their small should be extra small, their medium should be a small, and there should be a size between the medium and the large. Because
Masudo has like a dinner bell kind of
spoon. Really?
I don't know the size of it, but I was on their website the other day and I saw it.
Yeah, hey?
Might be something worth checking.
Huh. Because, yeah, those dinner bell spoons are good. I mean, Like if I'm being honest, I fish Cleos more than I fish the dinner bells, but spoons are just such a classic ice lure and such a classic trout lure, walleye, everything will eat a spoon, man. I think they're often underestimated because you've seen them in your grandpa's box, right? You think of the 5 of diamonds every time you think of a spoon, but they go a lot deeper than that. I love the medium slender spoon. Yeah, the Tingler spoon. The Tingler spoon is one that I use a ton for brookies and walleye. Cleos I use for walleye and brookies. Like I say, like 2 of my biggest walleye ever come through the ice on Cleos. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of slenders.
yeah,
Whiteys, everything eats them. Same as Len Thompson. You can't beat a Len Thompson.
well, yeah. I mean, there's so many good spoons on the market these days. It's pretty hard to go wrong, really.
100%.
It's more about color than it is about what spoon you have on, I think.
I think sometimes it matters just going to that flutter spoon or the heavier spoon.
Oh yeah, I have a video on that. I have a brook trout video, and if you watch it, I'm talking about the difference between using a Cleo and a Tingler spoon and how the one kicks to the side. And I'm literally like fishing the one, and I'm like, "Hey, watch this!" And I switch over to the Tingler spoon, drop it down, boom, fish on. That's wild, man.
What video is that?
It's like a brook trout video one from not last ice season, the season before that.
2020?
Yeah, I'd have to look at like my collection, but it's not like the late ice. It's not the late ice brook trout, or maybe it is. Yeah, it is. So there's one that's like late ice brook trout, and I'm holding a brook trout on the thumbnail, but it's all blocked out by a bunch of paint splatters. That's that video. Yeah,
I'll
and I'm
check
talking
that
about
out.
the difference between like the flutter and the straight drop of the heavier spoon. Because that actually, yeah, that makes a big difference if you're ice fishing. If you're ice fishing, the motion of the ocean is a big deal.
100%.
If you're trolling, I think it's more just, does it flash? Does it got some color to it?
Yeah.
Boom.
And just those flutters will stay higher up in the water column. You'll have to run them different.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's one of the biggest ice lures I use from early ice all the way through is the spoon. The reason I have so many rods is so I never have to tie up again. So there's always a spoon rod ready to go, whether it's a red and gold Cleo or a blue and silver Cleo. They're there. Yeah. If I show up at a lake and you walk up to my tent and you look at my rod rack, that's on one of the rods.
Yeah. Yeah, a spoon has to be on somewhere.
Oh yeah, spoon, rattle wrap, jig.
Tungsten.
Spoon, rattle wrap, jig, and tungsten. Tungsten, yeah. Then I've been big on slip bobbing in the winter.
Oh yeah.
I kind of started doing that because I was getting short. I was getting short bit on a jaw jacker like over and over again, fishing walleyes. Venom glow spoons. I'll have to look those up. That sounds pretty deadly for sure. I was fishing walleyes, getting short bit a whole bunch, and I just switched over to a slip bobber rig, and I would actually just leave the slip bobber sitting on the side of my hole.
Oh yeah.
So then I could just look at my hole if the bobber went down. It's good to go, right? Because I never went far from it. It's not like you can do that and leave it for a period of time. You can just do it shortly and run to that hole, right? But I found that turned out to be a really, really productive method for brookies, rainbows, tigers, walleyes. Worked really well.
I do that for pike, but without the slip bobber, and just use a regular bobber and just hook it on the top and just make a snow mound above.
Yeah.
So when it takes it just drops in, leave your bail open, then just run over.
Yeah. Yeah, I know guys do that for sturgeon and stuff too.
It just has no weight to it.
I would really love if it snap froze this year cold enough to freeze our river flat, but it just doesn't happen around here. I've had guys ask me, "Oh, do you fish in the river?" Like, it's literally so dangerous. It's not even funny around here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of the guys in Manitoba who get to ice fish the river because it is not possible around here unless it snap freezes, which never really seems to happen.
Yeah, I fished the Red one year, but it was just pretty much a sauger fest. But we
Yeah,
did get some master saugers.
yeah, hey.
Yeah.
And like I've gotten right with some master saugers, man.
Yeah, a couple greenbacks, but like no size to them. But it was crazy. This is like when Panogs first came out, like 4 years
Yeah,
ago, 5 years ago.
yeah,
And Buddy had one, and we're side by side, and it's just crazy. Like that first, just looking at it, right?
yeah,
It was
hey.
back then, and you see your hooks, and you see that one, then you see these saugers just ripping through. It was nuts. It was awesome.
Yeah, that is cool,
I think it's the only time I used it, 4 or 5
man.
years ago. But
Yeah, I would really like to try Panoptics like in a very active fishing situation. Like not
yeah,
just hanging out in the shack kind of thing, like actively using it to do what it's meant to do, right?
yeah,
Because I believe like if you know how to use it, it's the biggest game changer going.
yeah,
You just have to be able to use it, read it properly, read when a fish isn't reacting to you, read when fish are reacting to you, fish when you're not seeing fish still, because reaction bites happen from fish that
oh
are
yeah.
10 feet away that you maybe didn't see as you went by.
Throw down a
Or,
noisemaker.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think this is the longest show ever.
Does that mean I get to go get Burger King?
Yes, yes, you do.
Rewards are sweet, man.
There's no no reimbursement or anything, but you do get to get Burger King.
Perfect.
What are you gonna get?
Whopper Jr., no tomato, hold the lettuce, add cheese with a root beer.
And that's how you catch big fish right there.
Basically, like vegetables are stupid, other than pickles and onions.
Eh,
So that's why I have
I
all
like
my
those.
teeth, right? No, people probably think that don't have teeth because I like smoke crack or like eat a lot of sugar or drank for too much coke. But I actually hit my head on the snowboard rail one time. It sucked.
There you yeah. Yeah.
And then my
Well,
girlfriend stole the fake. This is why I can never have another girl. This is the real reason Adam will never date another female in his life,
she
because
stole
she
your tooth.
stole my tooth. No, that's 100% a lie. But she did steal my tooth. She did steal my tooth.
What?
I like being random. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we better call it. Everyone's probably got work in the morning. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll have another show for you next week. And I don't know what it is yet.
We got to do a show. We got to do an actual show where we talk about ice fishing, getting ready for it.
Yeah.
I hope I hope some people got some good trout tips. And if you didn't, just send me a message and ask me for some.
Yeah,
But we got to
100%.
do a really good ice show because I love ice fishing.
I think second week in November or October.
Yeah,
Is that enough
that's my
time for
birthday
people
week.
to get ready? Or beginning of October? Actually, beginning of October. I'll be down south antelope hunting, so I probably won't do a show one of those weeks. But
We'll figure it out. We'll do
yeah,
a nice show.
we'll have a huge ice show.
Yeah.
With all the new fancy stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about tactics, and I'll be like planned and stuff. Maybe I'll even draw a map like I did in the one other time.
Yeah, that was fancy.
That was right. Instead of just
Yeah.
being like honestly, I can't tell you anything other than fish pheasant tails. Like I don't know, fish a pheasant tail. Watch what happens. Use the
Yeah.
smallest indicator that you can.
Yeah.
This one, very small. This one, kind of small. Very small one. Go under no matter what.
Yeah. Those subtle bites.
Yeah. Nymphing
Yeah,
is
no.
huge.
Ice show. We'll get some new products. I've been seeing there's some coming out already from companies. Mostly just different colors, pretty much. And
I
just
think
a
that
little change. I
I'm
haven't
like
seen
interested
anything
to see what
crazy.
comes out at the Winnipeg Ice Show or what's there. And like maybe like you should just take us there because for research purposes.
I was supposed to go to Ontario at the end of the month for the Legend Award banquet and stuff, but just not going to work. They only gave me
Yeah.
a month notice, so.
Yeah.
But that would have been sweet. There's a fishing derby in the morning, then
Oh yeah.
dinner and whatnot. But
I'm
next
from
year,
that Ontario place down over there to the east and stuff. I'd like to go back there one day and catch me a muskie.
yeah,
Maybe
should
even a bass. Although
hit up.
The bass in BC, realistically, are they like they're decent size? I don't know.
Yeah, certain lakes for sure. For
Like I realize like smallmouths and like Simcoe and stuff are huge, but like
yeah,
are like is it like realistically even realistic to like catch 5, 6
you can
pound
do a 5
largies?
for sure.
Because you can get those in BC. You can get 5, 6s in
Yeah,
BCs.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
No,
like bass
it's
fishing. Bass fishing's fun.
oh man, pound for
If you haven't
pound,
gone bass fishing, go to
crazy.
BC. It's
Mm-hmm.
like literally like if you're in Calgary, like you can go bass fishing within 3 hours of you. And
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Stay at
like
my place if you go to the ice show. I'd like actually like would like to go to the Winnipeg ice show.
oh, it'd be amazing time.
Oh, I'm sure it would be super cool.
Like even just ultralight and a bass like this, it's crazy how good they fight.
Oh yeah, it's all right.
Like it's nuts. Just taking line. Like lots of those lakes are just stunted and stuff. There's certain lakes that have bigger ones, but you can go to those small lakes unlimited if you want a fish fry. You get a bunch of like 12 inchers. It's way more than a perch feast.
And regardless what anyone will tell you, bass tastes good.
They're delicious.
Yeah, bass tastes good.
Yeah,
White
we
meat,
had
man.
last week we had a fish fry, or this week?
Yeah,
No, last week. I can't even remember.
white meat, man. It's good.
Last week. Oh yeah, it was delicious.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll shut her down again.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We can
We'll
keep
give it a
going all
shot
night.
anyway. I actually need to eat some food and then go to bed because I have
Yeah.
barely slept with the whole golden trout and everything like that thing. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate everyone who stuck around for an hour and 42 minutes to hear me pretty much tell them nothing.
Well, there's a bunch of good tips and a bunch of good banter. So, hey,
There
as
is,
long as
like,
people enjoy
there
it every
is.
time.
You just gotta find it. Like if someone's like one of those people who like comes through and picks through later to find the good stuff, they got a lot of sorting to do.
Oh yeah,
A lot of sorting.
yeah. All right, everybody, get your
Good
pheasant
luck,
tail.
Croden. Send me a picture if you catch anything. You told us pheasant tails. I told you more than just pheasant tails. Adam, don't leave your tooth under your pillow. Man, I've been leaving my tooth under my pillow for years. Freaking tooth fairy, man. I don't know. She's rude. I want like
All right,
$20 when I finally see her. Maybe a fishing rod.
you need a new boat.
A new Northwest hat, a blue one. She's gonna fly to me.
No, we'll have some different ones. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I think Adam just froze, so he's gone. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you next week. Cheers.